It's the drum major on the beat.
Yo, what's good? This is Mills Thursdays, episode 13, man. 13 straight weeks now of content of Mills Thursdays, you know? And I got the ladies, I got great, wonderful black women with me right now. They're gonna give their best opinions. And I'm gonna let Bree tell them who you are, man.
Everybody, I'm an actress. Actually, I know you, Keith, through a web series that we did together called B Card. Shout out to Marissa McCoy, the writer and director.
And check that out, everybody. Go on YouTube and you see me and Bree. We kill it. And Bree, you know, you definitely killed it too. So shout out to you as an actor as well.
Thank you.
Now we have NaaKoshie, my cousin. Tell them what's up.
Hi, everybody. I'm NaaKoshie, or Koshi, Na, however you want to call. I'm Keith's cousin. I'm based in D.C. I'm a researcher, and I'm about to move to L.A. soon. So, yeah.
She's about to be with me, man. I'm so happy. I can't wait. Once this thing is over, you already know what it is.
Right.
Let's go. And Jodi, how you doing? Let them know.
Hello. How you doing? I'm Jodi. I'm an operations manager. I am based out of Atlanta. I also do catering and special events. If you need someone to book a party or something, hit me up.
Yes.
But I'm an active participant every week on MillsThursdays, so I'm glad to be here.
Oh, and Jodi, I really appreciate you and everybody who's watching. Jodi is definitely a participator. Bree and NaaKoshie as well. But Jodi, she lets it be known. But of course, I'm not gonna post her name on there because it's anonymous. You know what I'm saying? But not right now. We good. So we got the last but not least, we have Megan. Megan, how you doing?
Hello, I'm Megan. I'm a teacher and I'm based here in Los Angeles. And I know Keith because I used to babysit him. No, I'm just kidding. I know Keith through his amazing, immaculate fiance, AJ, whose skincare and hair care products I adore. All Natural Kinks, check it out. But that is how I know Keith, and I'm super excited to film this today.
Let's do it. Thank you. Let's do it. So we're gonna go right in with the questions. So, all right, let's go. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question is, if you had a song, who would you rather feature on your track? Nicki or Cardi? Anybody can go in. Let's get it.
Multifaceted answer to this. I consider myself a barb, but I also consider myself a member of Bardi Gang because I am for all Black women in music. Here's the thing. Nicki and Cardi both aren't great rappers. Like, let's just be real. I love Onika Tanya Mirage. I do, but her bars are not, like, she is no Queen Latifah. She is, like, no Lady of Rage. Like, she is not, you know, an incredible rapper. But when we're talking about, like, 2020 standards and who is going to have the most polished bars, who's going to have a better rhyme scheme, would definitely be Nicki. I do love Cardi though, but I don't feel like her name in a song is going to give my record the amount of star power or traction that it would have like in 2017. So I just feel like I would want better quality bars on my song.
Okay. Who can
So I agree with you, but at the same time, I disagree.
Mhm.
And part of it is I would rather Cardi B. Not because I agree they're both not that talented and they have their own lane. Let's say that. They have their own lanes and they get their crowds and their following to really stand behind them. But if you're saying like 2020, who I want on a track, Cardi B. Look at Nicki right now. She's naked. So if I'm a new artist or even an artist that, you know, I was hot and I took a break and I'm coming back, I want who's hot now, not who was hot. So I would say I want Cardi on there just because I know that she ain't writing it anyway. So as long as on the track and spit whatever I wrote and I know I'm writing that fire, come on, girl, help me get my coins.
I mean, Cardi, I do love her. We have the same birthday. She's my birthday twin. Cardi is kind of lukewarm right now. The last few features, South of the Border, that other little song she did, her last few features haven't really popped. So.
But you said Cardi. So right now it's Megan. Megan said Nicki, and Jodi said Cardi. So NaaKoshie, how do you feel with this?
You guys are gonna hate me. I've never really been a Barb's fan. Don't get me wrong. I think she used to make a lot of good hits.
I agree.
Cardi, go ahead.
I was agreeing with you.
Oh yeah, I mean Cardi. If you want something real thugged out, I say go for Cardi. Nicki, I mean, she made.
Oh my God, Coach!
I mean, you listen to some of the stuff she says. I mean, if you want something more like pop, yeah, you can go for Nicki. I mean, she makes a lot of noise, but again, I mean, both of them don't really have a lot of bars. So,
how you feeling? What you thinking? For Bree, what'd you choose? Will?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Cardi. Sorry.
Koshi, how do you feel with it?
Well, I think I'm not a rap. Well, am I? I am, but I not in this 2020 stuff that's out there. I agree with almost everything that's said, but I guess I'm with Jodi in the sense that Megan is correct in everything she says, but I think Nicki almost seems like she had a gimmick that was cool when it first came out, and now it's doing the same thing, again and again. Okay, and then now Cardi has a gimmick and it's newer. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think, in 5 years it's gonna be a new person and it's gonna be Cardi. You're like, Cardi who? Because that's the type of music that they're kind of making. So
you're saying the evolution. So even right now, Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah, I mean, I again, I'm not a rap person really, but I love Megan Thee Stallion. I think I like her lyrics. I like the way she does it, but I would never put her in the same category as Nicki Minaj and Cardi B because I see her more as a rapper. I could be wrong.
Definitely. No, definitely.
That's real.
So
shout out to Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ready for the results of what my followers said?
Oh, yeah. Sweet baby Jesus in a manger.
Barb, Megan Barb. Megan, you ready?
Oh Lord.
All right. So 59% Cardi, 41% said Nicki Minaj. I saw your eyes roll back, Megan. I'm sorry about that. You're like, what you ain't gonna say nothing? You like,
I mean, I understand it. I think I've never always been a Barb. I think I became a Barb after the Nicki Cardi beef because I realized that a lot of stuff that Nicki would say has a lot of validity to it. I think what is so off-putting about Nicki Minaj to people is that she moves like a man. She moves like niggas move. And I think when people encounter that, it's just off-putting for them. She is very braggadocious. She's quick to I mean, how many male rappers have said they're the king of rap? How many? Every male rapper says they're the king of rap. There's not one who hasn't said that at a certain point. She does all the stuff she does the same thing that male rappers do. She's not the first artist to try to block other artists from getting shit. She's not the first person to do the stuff that she does. But I feel because she's a Black woman, people are just so ready to see her fall and fail. And I feel she fell into that trap and went down the rabbit hole. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying because I used to be a Barb. I was, and I actually did stop liking her when her beef with Cardi came because I felt you're just jealous that someone else wants to get on board. Just, girl, move over. We can all fit on this platform. Why you got to be by yourself up here? And then, as you can see, she was dissing everybody. Everybody knows that Nicki is a new little Kim. You're not the first to get out here and act all crazy and put on leather and call yourself the queen bee or whoever you think you are. Like, you're not your first.
Yeah.
And then when little Kim was like, yo, what's up? Chill out. She was like, nah, I did this. Who are you? How you gonna say that to little Kim?
Yes, or even
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but also the beef with Remy Ma, I didn't understand that one bit. Okay,
Remy Ma got the bars.
Was being an opportunist.
Nah, Remy Ma got the bars, and Nicki don't know how to handle.
I was like, you need to sit your ass down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was very confused.
I did run Sheether back. I did play Sheether on repeat because it was a slap. I'm not even gonna lie. And I wasn't really a Nicki fan at that point. I think I became a Nicki fan when I realized that people were just like, let's jump on Nicki. But I feel like that whole Remy Ma beef that she had was really, really important because it kind of started it was like the inception of more women coming into the rap game. Because she had that beef, and that really knocked her off her pedestal, and it gave Cardi B a chance to kind of come up. And then Cardi B came up, and after Cardi B came up, it was like shablam. Like, you have, Saweetie, you have City Girls, you have Meg Thee Stallion, you have all these like lady rappers coming up after that happened. So I think it was important. But I do also think that I just feel like she does a lot of fucked up stuff that's really like vindictive and narcissistic. But I think like she's been put, if you've seen the movie Parasite, like you'll see where the poor people kind of have to go against the other poor people to get those jobs. She was kind of put in a position where she had to do that. She had to like fight and get down and dirty to claim her spot. Because
she was by herself.
She was by herself, but how many other were there with her?
Nobody. Like, so why you got to be down and dirty? Like when Nicki came up, who else was out on platforms with her? Cardi B got all these other girls doing competition. Nicki had her reign for like 7 years with no competition. Then competition come and you don't know how to handle it. No, girl, this is called a rap game. Either get your bars up or step down. It's that simple.
It's the industry. It's the industry.
That was because we can go all day with this. I can tell. This is just question one, guys. What's going on, man? Come on. First question. Dang, okay, we're bringing the heat, man. All right, so we might bring the heat with this one because I was talking to Koshi beforehand, and she said she got triggered a little bit. So let's get ready.
Yeah.
And, shout out Moses with this particular question. He was actually in episode 12, so you ladies check out episode 12 and make sure you
so we know
subscribe to all that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I had to plug that in. So here's the question, and I'm gonna read it nice and slow for y'all to hear. And Jodi's going to feel this one too. Who has had more impact on current culture now in America? Africans or Jamaicans? Coach, stop it. Stop it.
I'm going
to ask it again. Who has had more impact on current culture now in America? Africans or Jamaicans? Since we got I'm gonna put my cousin on the spot, the soulful sister over here.
See, and that's not right. See, because I could be anywhere in the world. Okay, I could be in Germany for all you all know. Okay.
So where we at? What's up? I'm calling you out.
Yes, I think that the question needs to be broken down a lot. But I'm not going to go there because I think whoever asked that question, we can have another discussion on, the 54 countries and however places in Africa, because it's really hard to make that comparison. And I will say that I have a deep appreciation for Jamaican culture. But since I am Ghanaian, okay, I have to say Africans. I mean, it wasn't really fair to ask me this question because like I grew up with a father who speaks God. I eat jollof. I mean, there's nothing I can do, fufu, all of it, So I think when we talk about culturally, there's so many pockets, and it can go from food, which lots of people are getting into the wrong kinds of jollof and Ghanaian jollof. They're opening restaurants. There's a restaurant in Southwest DC on the wharf highlighting African dishes. It does highlight some Jamaican because the guy is half Jamaican. I mean, when you look at the influence of Afrobeat in this country and Mr. Easy or Davido or Burna Boy, all of them on Beyonce's track to traveling all over the world. It's just, and Nollywood, for instance, is second only to Bollywood in terms of the amount of movies they make each year. So I just think that, one, it's an unfair comparison, but I'm going to just say I'm biased because I'm Ghanaian, so.
Hey, Moses, I ain't asking. Moses, your fault.
Yeah, I'm going to come get you, Moses.
You're going to get me, Jodi.
Okay, so ask the question again.
Ooh, excuse me.
Oh.
Well, who has had more impact on current culture now in America? Africans or Jamaicans?
So I'm leaning towards Jamaicans. And like I told you last week when I was talking about this, it's not to say that African has not had a huge influence. It's more so the question of, like, I feel like in the last decade, you're starting to see more of how our music as Jamaican music was inspired by African music. Okay. So like I said, I think the credit should always go to the originality of Africa because that's where the Afrobeat came from. But to say mainstream here in America, like people listening to it, knowing what it is, I feel like it came from Jamaica because everybody here loves Jamaica. They act like they don't know that there's other Caribbean islands and there's other places that's not Jamaica. You hear first thing people are gonna ask you is, "Are you Jamaican?" And then if you're African, they're gonna be like, "Are you Nigerian?" Like, them the only places they go on earth. So when I say Jamaica, it's not to say that Africa wasn't it and didn't influence Jamaicans. It was more so from the standpoint of what made it popular in America. I feel like they thought about reggae music first, how it came from the islands. And as you learn more about our culture, it's like, well, wait, you don't know what reggaeton is or what Afrobeats? Well, let me show you that. And it's I feel like the breakthrough was through Jamaican culture. And then people started to learn and educate themselves more to understand that, no, all of this came from Mother Africa. We just put our own spin on it. So that's what I always want to say, like, no, credit should always go to Africa because that's where it came from. But as far as who put the culture out here for others to kind of see it more, was more of, I feel like, the Caribbean style, the Jamaican culture.
Bree, how do you feel?
I agree with both ladies. I mean, I don't really have an educated answer on this one. I don't mean to sound ignorant, but I feel like, of course in the past decade, but it seems to me like ever since, what was it, 2017, 2018, when Black Panther came out, it's like all of a sudden everybody was all about African culture. And I mean, that's something that you guys can kind of nitpick at that if you want to, but that's how I was kind of seeing it. I mean, just looking at other people, how they were, looking at the African culture. I mean, Jamaican culture has always been a thing. I mean, reggae, yeah, and I think like with Afro beats, it originated from there. But it just seems like it became more, like people were more interested ever since Black Panther came out.
Understand. Yeah, so you're basically, and current, so your answer sounds like African to you, correct?
Yeah, definitely African culture.
All right, and that's a big point because I see what you mean with the whole Black Panther thing, especially with Marvel, Marvel getting putting superhero and oh really, they're Black superheroes too? Yes. There's Black music? Yes. So it's crazy, but
and I think that's what comes back to Jodi made some excellent points, but it's also what is current also now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Black Panther and speaking about those artists I mentioned and all other aspects, it might just be a bigger trend right now. And then a different question would be the influences, because reggae itself or Rastafarian culture that birthed a lot of reggae music is from Ethiopian. So there's a lot of push and pull, like back and forth between across the diaspora. So the influences is different from what's current today, at least in my opinion.
Megan, my fellow Ghanaian.
So this is something. It's a question that I've heard before, and it's a question that I've heard more so like I've heard people say things like Black Americans are appropriating African culture and Caribbean culture. And so like to hear people ask like, well, what's more relevant or what's having more of an influence like African and Jamaican, like all things Jamaican are inherently African because they all come from Africa. And in Ghana and in West Africa, they love reggae music. Like Burna Boy, a lot of the stuff he does is like reggae, dance hall adjacent. Like they love the fuck out of reggae, especially in Ghana. Like they have Ghanaian reggae artists. So everything is inherently African. Cumbia, salsa, merengue, reggaeton, like you can't name a genre of music that did country music. You cannot name a genre of music that did not somehow start in Africa and then trickle down. So African music is everywhere and African culture is everywhere. So I guess that's my thought process is by default, I'm going to say African, but I only say African because like across the diaspora, everything started there. I've been to Jamaica before and I've been to about 10 African countries. And when you go, like, you can see the influences. And even my friend was telling me, she speaks Jamaican patois. She was telling me about how some of the West African pidgin and the patois, some of those words are like the same. There's overlap. So I guess my answer is African only because everything is inherently African. When you talk about the diaspora.
Yeah. When I'm gonna piggyback off what you said because even Lucky Dubé, he's from South Africa, but he's a reggae artist. So it goes hand in hand. We bringing the facts for here. I love what everyone's saying right now.
Yeah.
I love it. And so we basically have four picked Africans. So Bree, Koshie, and Megan. I said four, so I guess myself too, right? Whatever.
It was like
and Jodi picked Jamaican. So the results came out, and we have the results. Y'all ready for them?
Yeah.
28% said Jamaican, 72% said African.
Oof.
Another trigger. This actually came from Kevin's suggestion, who's also in episode 12. So,
can we ask them the questions next time?
Right.
Oh, dude. We can do that.
No, I'm messing with y'all.
Okay, no. So, who had the better music career? Aaliyah or Brandy? Rest in peace, Aaliyah. That's tough. That's tough. What's up? Who's up?
Aaliyah, I feel like she opened the door though. She opened the door.
Okay, Bree.
I would go into that more. I want to hear what everyone else says. She opened the door, but yeah, there's a little bit more to it.
Anybody want to piggyback off just a little bit of what Bree just said?
Yeah. It was. I think in terms of influence, it's definitely going to be Aaliyah. But I think there possibly, just in terms of numbers, Brandy was able to have a bigger music career.
Yeah.
And she's still alive. I mean, and I have so much love for Brandy. Like, I was the biggest Moesha fan, and sitting in my room, I'm doing that right now. So love to both of them, but I think I agree with Bree.
Megan or Jodi?
So I don't really remember that much of Aaliyah. I was probably like 6 or 7 when she died. God rest her soul. I think that Aaliyah really benefited from pretty privilege, and I think she was probably one of the first artists in the R&B realm who didn't really have the vocals. She kind of had a look. She had a gimmick. Like, Aaliyah was a vibe. Like, Aaliyah was the midriff and the baggy pants with the boxers. Like, it was a look that she had. And I think her look combined with pretty privilege allowed her to have more sensationalism in her career. But in terms of actual talent, fucking Brandy.
Okay, I definitely agree with you. I still stand by what I said, but but I totally agree with you. I mean, if we're gonna talk about that, like, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of talent, Brandy, but like actual reach, like who do people know more? Well, I would say in the Black community, we all know who Brandy is and we all know who Aaliyah is. But I would say, like, in a general sense, I would say that probably more people know of Aaliyah, but they probably can only name 2 of her songs, if 2. But I think they know who she is.
She has a whole catalog.
I know she has a catalog. I'm saying, like, outside of the Black community. I'm saying if we just did a generalized survey to, like, people of all different ethnicities within the U.S., they might be able to name 2 of her songs. Within the Black community, obviously, we can name albums and all of that. But I think that, like, Aaliyah was getting to the point where she was reaching out of the Black community. And she was kind of in the same space that Selena was when Selena passed away. The reach was going beyond just their cultural community and was extending out. So I think who had a bigger reach? Aaliyah. Who had more talent? Brandy.
So what is your final answer?
I don't want to answer this, Keith. Aaliyah, leave me alone.
This is what hosts do, man. Jodi, go ahead.
And I loved Aaliyah, and I think it was more so, like you said, like she had a different type of niche about her, and I felt like she was just a pretty tomboy that had nice songs that fit her voice. Because a lot of times when you can't sing, the song matters. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that she wasn't talented. I just think that she was still young. That's another thing, people don't realize how young she was when she started. So when you look back at Brandy's first albums, I didn't think Brandy could sing. Fast forward to like her second, third album when she's a little more seasoned with her vocals and her songs and writers have changed, I think she got better. So for me, I'm going to still side with Aaliyah because I just don't think that it's like, to me, I'm comparing her shorter career to someone who's had more time to be seasoned in their career. If you can sing and you come out and you're not the greatest, as long as you have a voice and you have a voice coach that can help you and you start getting better songs, then your album, your career is going to escalate. And I feel like Aaliyah was getting to that point before she passed, and we just didn't get to see that for her.
Yeah, I agree.
Bree, how do you feel? You said you wanted to talk about this album. How you feeling?
So yes, vocally, Brandy definitely sounded better. Aaliyah was a whole vibe. She had the whole fashion sense. I mean, you even see it's coming back now. I think Danny Lay is kind of, she kind of has that style. But again, Aaliyah didn't, I mean, her life, it was very short-lived. So we didn't get a chance to see what it was going to blossom into. But still, I have to go with Aaliyah. That's a hard one, though. Because you have, Aaliyah has the vibe and the fashion. I mean, she has a great catalog. Brandy, she has a great catalog as well, but I mean, the girl can blow.
Yeah. Sure.
At the time, at least.
Yeah, it's hard.
They legends. I'm gonna give y'all the results right now. 21% said Brandy, 79% said Aaliyah.
Yeah,
it's tough because it's like she's competing with the dead woman,
Yes.
And I just feel for Brandy, but it's a really hard place to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think that Brandy it's just like one of those. It's kind of like one of those things, like somebody that should have been bigger, should have had more momentum, but like it just had a series of events that kind of fucked their career up.
I know, Megan. I know.
So it just sucks for Brandy because she's so talented. And honestly, I really thought she was Cinderella. I did not realize there was a white Cinderella.
I know. Well, I did. Yeah, I know exactly. I was confused about all the, at least when I was a child, the Chinese and then the white dad and Whoopi Goldberg. But it was still beautiful. It was still beautiful. When I was young, I was like, that don't come out.
I never understood that as a kid. Asked my mom, and my mom would be like, "Oh, well, that's her stepdad." I was like, "Okay."
You're like, whatever. Okay. I just asked this question straight up. This one's gonna be tough again. I said, I'm going right in. Who y'all rolling with? Beyonce or Rihanna?
All right, I'm gonna head out. It was real. See y'all next week.
Huh?
Naturally, I had to pick Beyonce. Sorry.
You said what?
I'm gonna have to pick Beyonce. She's a great performer. Don't get me wrong. Rihanna is also a great performer, but when you look at some things like, I mean, she has an amazing voice, Rihanna. But performance-wise, it's kind of unfair to put the two against each other because you already know what everyone's gonna say, and it's gonna be Beyonce. But again, I don't want the Navy team coming for me, so.
It's just basically who you rolling with. It ain't nothing about, like.
Oh, like better singer, better music. It's nothing. It's just
good girl.
Okay.
Like this, just anything. Like so, Bree, you chose Beyonce. Right?
I'm gonna have to say Beyonce.
Koshi.
Beyonce.
Would you like to elaborate, or you like not?
I mean, who I'm gonna roll with? I mean, yeah, it's gonna be Beyonce. I just don't see.
It's hard. Rihanna.
Hey, we got something different here. All right. Is
I
it
know.
because she's from the Caribbean?
So let me say this, because you're just saying who I roll with, right?
Who you rolling with?
And the reason I say, I'm gonna just say why I don't say Beyonce. Y'all know that she don't follow nobody on IG. She ain't got no friends.
True. That is
she ain't
true.
loyal. She ain't got no friends. You can want to be your friend all day. She ain't gonna be your friend. Nah.
Well.
I want somebody that when I sit here and I hit her up, it's not on her time frame and her catalog. That's how I feel like Beyonce is. Like, I don't have no disrespect for her though. Like, if you were asking me better performer, better hit maker, like all of those questions, Beyonce hands down. Like, she's still the queen bee. I'm gonna give her that. But the question was Beyonce or Rihanna. Who you rolling with? Rihanna. Because if I get into a fight, Rihanna got my back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Beyonce gonna be in the car. I don't need that.
You basically saying, if I'm swinging, Rihanna gonna swing with me.
You asking who's gonna be my friend? She gonna look out. And I think too, like, I think that Rihanna as a person does a lot more for communities around, whereas Beyonce might be doing those things, but she's probably doing it from like the background. So you don't know she's spearheading these things. So I can't even say that she's not doing things. I just think that if it's personally, like, who's a person I feel like personally I can get along with more, I feel like it'll probably be Rihanna.
Megan, you swinging with Jodi with this one or what?
So, like I was saying about, Aaliyah versus Brandy, I think Rihanna has very much so Aaliyah vibes. She's an experience. Rihanna is a personality. She is an aesthetic. She's a mood. She's a vibe. Her vocals are not there. I adore Rihanna. She's beautiful gowns, but the vocals are not, they're just not present. And I mean, it's just like saying, like, who would you go with, Michael Jackson or Vanilla Ice? Like, obviously, I'm gonna go with Michael Jackson. I'm just saying in terms of talent. In terms of talent, like, Beyonce is one of the greatest performers ever. Like, not just of our generation, like, point blank, period, ever. She's like definitely top 10, if not top 5 performers ever. So, and just the cultural impact that she's had. Just like, I mean, I think Rihanna has more hits. I'm pretty sure Rihanna has more number ones that have charted. And I think Rihanna probably has more music that hits the pop charts. But I'm just talking about like actual cultural change. Because I think Beyonce helped open the doors for Rihanna. Somebody like Beyonce and Destiny's Child that kind of like gave way and continued to like pave the steps for people like Rihanna to come up. So obviously, yeah, Beyonce. But I do like Rihanna. Like, me and Rihanna can go to the bar, but like when it comes to like talent piece, like, no, I'm going with Beyonce.
Jodi, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think everybody's going off of just the talent. So is that what we're supposed to go off of? Because everyone's pretty much picking her based off of, we think she's a better performer, a better actor, better with her overall career.
I didn't ask that.
I think it's how you interpret, or everybody's interpreting the question differently. And I think that the way you answered it, Jodi, made a lot of sense and like our questions are making sense in the way that we feel the question is asking.
Exactly. So there's no wrong interpretation of how I'm asking the question. So it can be based on talent or performance, or we going to the bar or we going to the club. So with this, the results, I have 42% said Rihanna.
Oof.
Said Beyoncé.
You see.
That's still like a close.
Yeah.
That's
no,
close.
I'm saying like you see, like it is very close because
it's how you
the open-endedness of the question. Yeah.
Exactly. Both queens too.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Fenty right now.
Levels. Like in terms of like fame, like they're both on the same level.
Yeah.
But in terms of talent,
Beyonce. Yeah, we know. We can all agree that we know talent-wise, it's Beyonce. I saw her for Coachella, and it was probably one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life. Like, worth every penny. The whole 2 hours I waited for her to get on stage. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I saw it too on Netflix.
I went to the tour that she did after it. So
that's
I went to OTR too, and I went to the Lemonade tour, and they were both incredible shows.
Yeah. All right, let's go to number 5 right now. Let's do it. Also from Kevin.
Yeah, man.
Can we put a picture of Kevin's face up here so we all know who to cough on when we go out? I'm just kidding. No cough on Kevin.
No, we're gonna go back to 12.
Shout out Kevin, man. So it's K Rick 2, Instagram. At a black party, what are you most likely to hear at some point? Again, this is your own interpretation, whatever setting. So at a black party, what are you most likely to hear at some point? Before I let go, or back that ass up?
Day party, back that ass up, hands down. Cookout, family reunion, before I let go. Just like Koshi was saying, it depends on the vibe, what kind of party it is. That's dependent. I mean, if it's, and then also the generation, who, like the age group. If it's a younger age group, definitely back that ass up.
I'm gonna be honest though. I'm gonna cut in. I shouldn't be, but I'm gonna cut in, Bree, what you said. I think honestly, those are both generations.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at, you know what? I was at a
old heads back in, you got some old heads, they twerking too.
I see.
Yeah.
Twerking too.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on the 50-olds now.
Yeah,
that's true. That's a tough one.
You know what I'm saying?
Your aunties, yeah.
Hey, the aunties still good. Come on.
You can hear both songs, and I've gone to parties and thrown parties where both songs came on.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can't be at a black party without hearing both of them.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't just play one.
What's the one that you're gonna hear first? How you?
Back that ass.
Back that ass up.
First. Actually, I won't even say that. It depends. It's still the vibe of the party, because, like, let's say it's a family reunion. Both songs are gonna get played, but they might play Before I Let Go early because not a lot of people are there yet. So they want to save Back That Ass Up for the middle of the party, because that's when everybody's there. You try and get them more turned up.
Yeah.
Or it could be at the end because we want you to go home. So we want you to mellow down.
So before you go on, Bree, what is the one? Which one did you choose?
I'm gonna say Back That Ass Up.
Okay, Jodi, with the
I'm gonna say that too.
Back That Ass Up. Megan.
Both. Don't make me.
Go ahead, Megan.
I'm a Libra. This is like Libra.
He balances everything.
Megan, we ain't even in the same place, but you about to get the stepping. You can't.
Wow.
You better pick
Fine. One. I'll choose Back That Ass Up.
Koshi, what are you thinking?
Put in my heart, I still think.
I think people, well, at least most families parties I've been to, Before I Let Go, usually do the electric slide too. So I feel like the likelihood, because they wait until everybody is there to do the dancing, and then you do the cha-cha slide and what's that one? Yes, all those. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. And then they play like it's that Candy song. They do that little part in the middle where it's like those old songs. So then I feel like there's a stronger likelihood that Back That Ass would be played first.
So
I think just like numbers wise.
So everyone said Back That Ass Up, basically.
Yeah.
All right, so 21% said Before I Let Go. 79% said Back That Ass Up.
Definitely.
The people have spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're about to get to the last question. Bernie ends presidential campaign. How you feeling about that? Damn, not Bernie, or who cares?
I'm gonna say damn, not Bernie, and let y'all go ahead.
You said what? Bree,
I'm gonna say damn, not Bernie, but I'm gonna let y'all go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like Megan. I'm gonna say both answers because
you have to pick one.
I will pick one. Just give me a moment, okay? Just give me a moment. I will pick one. I'm just gonna say, like, just so you understand where I stand. I'm on both sides because on one hand, it's completely disheartening to look at our system of government, our political system, and see that there's only two parties, one, and that we always know who's going to be the presumptive nominee without an actual getting all the votes, all the super delegates who are also kind of already in bed with people already. So it's a real shame, I believe, for them. But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm gonna just be candid. You're old. You're white. You talking the same stuff you were talking 4 years ago. Sit down. What is this? That's why I think. So I'll say, goodbye, Bernie. He's a part of the patriarchy. He's a part of the whole system. So goodbye.
All right. Okay.
I mean, my good sis she really summed up really aggressive and annoying and kind of like shame people for not liking Bernie as if like we don't have the freedom or not like Black people like 55 and plus for voting for Joe Biden, as if first of all, they were going to vote for Joe Biden. Joe Biden is associated with President Obama. So as soon as he entered the race, I already knew that he'd be a candidate. And like Bernie Sanders has made no efforts with in Generation X or baby boomers. All of his focus is on millennials, a demographic that doesn't really vote as much as Generation X or baby boomers do. So I'm not sad to see him go. I liked Elizabeth Warren, to be honest. That was the person that I liked. I was a Sacagawea Warren girl, as were many other of my friends that I know. And really, if I could really pick a presidential candidate, it would be Michelle Obama. But that will never, ever happen. But I'm not sad to see Bernie go. Like, who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
So, Koshi, you said who cares, correct?
Yeah, my final answer was who cares.
Bree, you said what? What was it?
I was saying no. Oh no, Bernie was the first one. But at the same time, it's like I'm looking at some of the choices we have now, and I'm just like, but homeboy is like what, 80 something. I mean, he's there's all this stuff going on, but I'm kind of I'm in the middle. It's like I like him, but at the same time, it's like,
but it's still
I'm in between.
Jodi,
if I can be.
I'm in the middle, and so I'm with Koshi. Like, why do we always have the same candidates and it's kind of predictable? Like, you already know what's going to happen. So I was on board with Bernie 4 years ago. And that was more because that was more of what many of us, probably our second time getting to vote since we were old enough. To be honest, I think my first time voting was Obama's term. So, and I think maybe their second term. So it's kind of like, the next time I get to vote now, it's back to these two white electives that's 78 plus. And then you look at the category of people, like the Democrats had what, 15 people, and then the last 3 were still older white men. I mean, Elizabeth, to be honest, I was Elizabeth Warren because she had the same views as Bernie, but an actual realistic plan of how it could work. I just feel like Bernie's just throwing stuff out there that millennials want because he knows we don't want student loan debt. He knows we don't want that, so he's going to keep harping on that. But in all actuality, like, he couldn't tell you how he was going to do those things.
Yeah.
And so it's like, are you really going to better my economy, or are you just giving me a knife in my back a different way? And I feel like that's a lot of times what's so hard about it. Like, I would have loved for Bernie from the standpoint of, I want something different. I'm tired of you saying this is democracy, and I don't see how that works. Because a lot of things we've asked for over the years and we're still not getting it. So why did we even vote you into office and you're still not doing it? And I mean, even with Trump, when you look at his administrative, he offered, what was it, to bring home more resources and build more jobs. He's been in office 4 years and he ain't even did that. So it's like you keep getting these presidents that are saying we're going to do things for you, and they already have their political agenda of what they're going to do because the people who are supporting him is putting money in their pocket. So the only reason I was for Bernie was because he had a little bit of a different trend on how he wanted to do something. Not because I didn't believe he wasn't going to not do what they want in Congress and Senate, but he might have tried to say, hey, I'm going to actually put a bill forward that's going to try and decrease and get free education, or how put a plan out there, something different than what we're getting now. So that's why I'm kind of torn on damn Bernie versus who cares, because it's not that I really wanted him. I just wanted someone who's going to try and be different than what we're already getting.
Who is it though? What, you got to pick one. Damn not Bernie or who cares?
I don't know.
You got to do it. This is the last question and we out of here. You got to do it. And I'll tell you the results.
This is so hard.
You got to pick one.
All right, damn not Bernie. I'm going to go with damn not Bernie.
All right, y'all ready for the numbers? All right.
Yeah.
So, 51% said damn not Bernie. And 49% said who cares?
No.
Yeah.
It's
not surprising. I think that people are just kind of like tired of having to vote for the lesser of two evils. And it just feels like it's always like, okay, well, I don't like this person, but I've got to vote for them because there's no one better.
Yeah.
And I think at this point in my life, I just realized that there's no politician that's going to make America a better place for Black people to live. So I'm just trying to get to the bag so I can get the fuck up out of this place. Because I just don't see it. I don't see it for the United States. I really don't. It was a country founded on racism and destruction. People always say things like, oh, this isn't the America I know and love. But I'm just like, how isn't it when they came here and stole the land and killed all the indigenous Americans and brought slaves? Like, it's just, I don't care about the United States like that. I'm trying to, maybe buy a property here, rent it out, and be somewhere in Ghana, in East Legon, in Accra, chilling.
Agreed. Go with you on that one, Megan.
Yes.
Bree, Koshi, Jodi, Megan, I love you guys for being a part of the show. I loved your takes. And before we go, make sure the 4 of y'all are subscribing. And when this episode comes out, y'all gonna promote it. Because y'all, hey, I'm be honest, all y'all had beautiful takes. And I loved it. I love each and every one of y'all. So thank you for being part of the show. Thank you so much. And this is episode 13.
It's the drum nature on the